The headlines scream crisis: soaring mortgage rates, stagnant wages, and millions priced out of the market. But here's what the headlines won't tell you. In 2025, entire US cities are resetting. Sellers are bending, homes are sitting longer. And the same affordability crunch that crushed buyers last year is now creating the biggest entry points we've seen in over a decade. This isn't just a housing crash story. It's about opportunity, the chance for families, retirees, and strategic investors to finally buy into markets that were once out of reach. Today, we're revealing the 10 US cities where the affordability crisis is flipping into a wealth-building opportunity. Ready to see where the doors are finally opening? Let's dive in. Number 10. Houston, Texas. Glass towers glisten above the oil refineries. Suburban neighborhoods stretch for miles. And for decades, Houston called itself the land of opportunity. But in 2025, even this giant of Texas is showing cracks in the foundation. Houston's median home price now hovers around $350,000. Yet homes are sitting on the market for an average of 46 days, a sharp contrast from the frenzy just 2 years ago.
For families, the math is painful. Monthly mortgage payments often climb to $2,500 to $2,800, which feels like handing over an entire paycheck just to keep a roof overhead.
And yet, Houston remains a city of contradictions. While energy prices rise and fall with the global market, its economy is still anchored by healthcare, logistics, and a strong university system. That means people keep coming, and they need places to live. Renters are filling the gap where buyers can't qualify, creating steady demand across the city's sprawling suburbs. For families weighing relocation, that slowdown in home prices could actually be a chance to enter the Houston market with less competition than before. It's not the overheated free-for-all it once was. Instead, patient movers can find neighborhoods with solid schools, proximity to the medical center, and job opportunities that make long-term stability possible. Truly, Houston may not be an easy city, but in 2025, it's one of the rare big metros where the slowdown creates breathing room. And for families ready to plant roots, that can be the real opportunity. Number 9, Jacksonville, Florida. The St. Johns River glitters under the Florida sun. Naval destroyers glide silently out to sea. And at first glance, Jacksonville looks like another booming Sunshine State story. But beneath the postcard, the picture shifts. The median home price has slipped to about $305,000, with listings now lingering 69 days before finding a buyer, nearly double the pace of just a few years ago. That's not just cooling. That's buyers stepping back, arms crossed, waiting. The biggest culprit? Insurance costs. In Florida, they can add $400 to $600 a month to a family's budget. For many, that isn't a side expense. It's a deal breaker. But Jacksonville runs on a different rhythm. The city is powered by the constant flow of military families, hospital staff, and port workers. They come, they rent, they leave, they come back again. That cycle doesn't stop, no matter what the housing market does. And that's where the opportunity hides. Families may hesitate to buy, but landlords don't wait in vain. Rents keep coming, demand stays steady, and properties here can provide stability even when sales slow. So Jacksonville isn't a sinking ship. It's a naval vessel holding course through the storm, a market where disciplined buyers can find long-term steadiness in the middle of volatility. Number 8, Las Vegas, Nevada. Bright neon lights shimmer on the strip, tourists pack the casinos, and entertainment headlines shout record profits. But just beyond the glitter, Las Vegas is quietly cooling. Las Vegas's median home price has slipped to around $430,000, with listings sitting an average of 60-plus days, a stunning change from the bidding wars that defined the pandemic boom. Sellers are slashing prices, offering concessions, and still waiting. Mortgage payments here can easily top $3,000 a month, far outpacing local wages. But here's the twist. Las Vegas remains one of the fastest growing metros in the US. Retirees flock for sunshine and tax benefits, Californians escape for affordability, and service sector employment keeps demand steady. And even when ownership stalls, people don't stop needing housing, they rent. So for investors and relocating families, this creates a unique window. Cash flow rentals are possible now where they weren't just 2 years ago. And properties acquired during this cooling phase can position buyers for strong upside once migration flows inevitably heat the market again. In short, Vegas is a paradox. A market that looks unstable on the surface, but underneath offers disciplined buyers one of the most strategic entry points in the entire Southwest. Number 7, Fort Worth, Texas. Cowboy hats mix with glass office towers. Rodeo arenas sit a short drive from buzzing corporate campuses. Fort Worth has always been where old Texas grit meets new Texas growth. But today, the housing market is caught in an uneasy standoff. The median home price sits around $335,000, but homes are now spending 53 days on the market, far longer than during the 2021 frenzy. Mortgage payments at today's rates are brushing against $2,200 to $2,500 a month, making it harder for first-time buyers to step in. Yet, unlike many cities where slowing sales also means sinking demand, Fort Worth has something else at play: jobs. Defense contracts at Lockheed Martin, logistics hubs serving the DFW Metroplex, and a rising healthcare sector mean thousands of workers still need housing close to the action. That's why the rental market here is holding steady. While purchase demand softens, families and young professionals continue to rent, many by necessity, not by choice. For those with a longer horizon, that gap creates a window. Buy while others hesitate, rent while demand stays stable, and hold for the long-term growth that North Texas almost always delivers. Fort Worth isn't collapsing, it's resetting. And for families and investors alike, resets can be the best time to secure a foothold. Number 6, Denver, Colorado. The mile-high city sparkles with mountain views, craft breweries on every corner, and a booming tech and aerospace scene. But behind the postcard lifestyle, the housing numbers are hitting turbulence. The median home price is sitting around $570,000, and listings are lingering for 52 days on average, a dramatic slowdown compared to the bidding wars that defined the pandemic years. For many households, mortgage payments in the $3,200 to $3,600 range are simply a non-starter. But here's the paradox. Denver's economy isn't slowing down in the same way. Aerospace, renewable energy, and tech jobs continue to draw in professionals, while its universities and hospitals keep a steady flow of students and staff in the rental market. People still want the Denver lifestyle. They just can't always afford to buy into it right now. That's why rentals remain resilient, particularly in areas near transit lines and university hubs. Families who once stretched to buy are now content to rent until prices or rates shift. And when cycles turn, those who held properties during the dip often see outsized returns. Denver is no longer the frenzy-driven market of 2021, but in a city where demand never fully disappears, it only pauses. Slowdowns aren't the end of the story. They're the intermission before the next act. Number 5, Palm Beach County, Florida. With palm trees swaying over gated communities, yachts gliding through intracoastal waterways, and luxury towers dotting the coastline, Palm Beach County has long been the playground of the wealthy. But beneath the glitter, affordability is unraveling fast. The median home price now hovers near $615,000, and homes take an average of 65 days to sell, a sharp contrast from the bidding wars of 2021. For families, the monthly reality is even harsher. Mortgage payments pushing $3,800 to $4,200. Plus Florida's skyrocketing insurance premiums that often add $600 to $800 more per month. For many, that's simply unsustainable. But here's the twist. Palm Beach is not just about the billionaires. The county has a constant churn of professionals, healthcare workers, seasonal staff, retirees testing the waters, all needing housing. When buyers can't or won't commit, they rent. And in Palm Beach, rents remain robust, supported by migration from the Northeast and Latin America. For investors, the key isn't beachfront mansions. It's the workforce housing markets tucked inland. Duplexes, triplexes, and condos near job centers provide steady tenants, while luxury buyers hesitate. That's the overlooked layer of Palm Beach, where working families drive rental demand even as the sales market sputters. Palm Beach County isn't collapsing. It's recalibrating. And for those who understand the cycle, today's hesitation is tomorrow's opportunity. Number 4, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. In Fort Lauderdale, cruise ships dock at Port Everglades, jets stream in and out of the airport, and canals shimmer with million-dollar yachts. A spectacle that still sells the dream of coastal living. But beneath the sparkle, the numbers reveal a tougher reality. The median home price sits around $560,000, with homes lingering about 71 days on market, double the speed just 3 years ago. For families, that translates into mortgage payments north of $3,600 a month. And when you layer on Florida's surging insurance premiums, another $500 to $700 monthly, ownership slips out of reach for many middle-class households. So what happens? Demand doesn't disappear, it shifts. Young professionals working in hospitality, aviation, and health services, along with retirees seeking sunshine but avoiding purchase risks, are turning to rentals. Rents remain strong, buoyed by Fort Lauderdale's international draw and its proximity to Miami without Miami's extremes. For you as an investor, this creates a unique window. While sales slow, rental demand is sticky. Properties bought at softer prices today can deliver cash flow stability now, while positioning for appreciation when South Florida's next upcycle inevitably hits. And if you are finding value in this video, please subscribe to Move Smarter Global. Your support helps it to continue to bring you deep dives into the global property market.
Fort Lauderdale may look like a luxury-only city, but under the surface, its workforce and global connections keep housing demand alive. And that steady pulse means opportunity for those who know where to look.
Number 3, Tampa, Florida. With cannons booming from the pirate ship at Raymond James Stadium, cruise passengers streaming through the port, and new towers rising along the Hillsborough River, Tampa looks every bit the picture of a city still booming. But beneath the surface, the housing numbers tell a different story. One of a market quietly losing steam. The median home price hovers around $410,000, and homes now sit nearly 62 days on the market before selling, a major slowdown compared to the bidding wars of 2021-2022. Mortgage payments for that median price push into the $2,700 to $3,000 range, stretching family budgets to the breaking point. And insurance? That's Tampa's hidden thorn. With hurricane risk factored in, many households face $400 to $600 in extra monthly costs, making ownership feel less like a dream and more like a financial gamble. Yet here's the paradox. Tampa's fundamentals are stubbornly strong. The city anchors a diverse economy: healthcare, defense, tech, tourism, all of which fuel continuous job growth. Families still move here for schools and sunshine. Retirees still arrive for the lifestyle, and renters keep the apartment market tight. For investors, this creates what you might call a sweet spot squeeze. Families priced out of ownership don't leave, they rent. That means steady rental demand and room for cash flow opportunities, even as the purchase market cools. And once mortgage rates ease, Tampa's underlying growth story suggests prices won't stay flat for long. So while headlines warn of slowdown, Tampa still looks like a long-term play, dressed in short-term turbulence. Number 2, Miami, Florida. Pastel glow of Ocean Drive to the gleaming towers of Brickell, Miami sells a picture of endless glamour. But beneath the neon and palm trees lies one of the toughest affordability squeezes in the country: The median home price sits at $560,000, and mortgage payments on that figure can hit $3,800 to $4,200 a month, numbers that push even solid middle-class families to the edge. Homes now average 76 days on the market, a sharp reversal from the bidding chaos of 2021, when buyers waived inspections just to compete.
But here's Miami's double-edged reality. Demand never disappears. International investors still pour money into luxury condos. Retirees still see South Florida as paradise. And the constant flow of hospitality, healthcare, and tech workers ensures one thing. If families can't buy, they'll rent. And rents here don't crash, they climb. There's also the wild card of climate risk. Flood insurance premiums can tack on hundreds per month, and some families simply bow out. Yet for investors with patience, that very risk shakes weaker hands out of the market, opening up entry points. So while ownership feels out of reach for many, rental strength and international capital flows keep Miami afloat. For investors, it's less about timing the crash and more about positioning in a market where demand never truly leaves. It just shifts from buyers to renters. Number 1, Oakland, California. Across the bay from San Francisco, Oakland has long been the quieter alternative. Diverse neighborhoods, deep cultural roots, and homes that once cost a fraction of the city across the bridge. But now, Oakland is ground zero for California's affordability meltdown. The median home price hovers around $730,000, and at today's rates, that means monthly payments soaring well above $5,000. Listings sit for an average of 83 days, signaling not just a slowdown, but a fundamental standoff. Sellers refusing to slash prices, buyers unwilling to stretch beyond their limits. For families, this is crushing. Schools, healthcare, and commute access still make Oakland attractive, but the math just doesn't add up. Even strong middle-class households find themselves priced out. Not for lack of income, but because the gap between wages and mortgage costs is now a canyon. Yet Oakland also embodies California's paradox. When purchase markets freeze, the rental market catches fire. Tech commuters, healthcare workers, and younger professionals still flow into the Bay Area. They can't buy, so they rent. And landlords benefit from turnover that rarely dries up. For investors, this makes Oakland one of the clearest examples of crisis creating opportunity. While ownership feels impossible for families, those with the capital to acquire rentals at today's adjusted prices can lock into steady demand with the potential upside of appreciation when the broader California market eventually corrects. Oakland isn't the dream of affordable Bay Area living anymore. But as an investment play, it's still a market where demand never dies. It just shifts lanes. Conclusion. So what does all this mean for you? If you're a family stuck on the sidelines, these numbers show you're not alone. Millions are in the same boat. But it also means the tide is finally shifting in your favor. Sellers are bending. Homes are sitting longer. The market that once shut you out is now cracking open. And if you're a retiree or relocator, this is your window to lock in comfort at a fraction of the cost before the next upswing resets the game. Yes, investors will always circle these markets. They see the same opportunities we just laid out. But the bigger story here is for regular families who've been waiting, saving, and hoping. For the first time in years, the dream of owning a home in these cities isn't slipping further away. It's inching closer. The real question is, when the doors finally swing open, will you be ready to step through?